Hello Starcraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Womec and Soybean on Orbital Shipyard. In the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard we have the red Terran player, it is Womec, representing RNG. And in the top right of Orbital Shipyard we have the blue Zerg player, it is Soybean, representing CXMP. And today, we have a very special guest with us on this cast. Joining me is Fanboy.
Yeah, well, what's up?
How are things, Fanboy? Having a good day?
Oh, for the most part, yeah.
Fair enough. So Fanboy has his own YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and link it in this cast. Probably put a card in the top right here. And you can go check him out as well. He does cast a Legacy of the Void replay pretty much every day. Is that correct?
Yeah, for the most part. Lately, not so much because I was sick the other day, but, you know, I try my best.
That's right. We all just do what we can, for sure. All right, so it is a TVZ on Orbital Shipyard. We have cast a lot of these in the beta. It's a pretty familiar matchup and a pretty familiar map. So obviously the early hatch coming from the Zerg player, Soybean playing very standard. It just really remains to be seen when he takes his gas and when he takes his spawning pool, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. The Terran player, meanwhile, did go for an early command center.
I think that's pretty standard nowadays in Legacy because you get so much money so quickly.
Very true. With that early worker count, you have a ton of minerals that you really need to throw at something. Might as well expand, especially on this map where Terran can wall off at this ramp at the front of their base and feel very secure against any Zerg harassment at their natural and not really have to worry about it. So
and it's such a large map too.
Yes, the rush distance is very long, for sure. So the gas is up for Soybean as well as that spawning pool. And what just remains to be seen is whether he goes for a Roach Warren, goes to a quick lair. Going to have to keep an eye on that. The Terran player does have double gas going at this point. Second refinery is on the way in the main base. It tells me he could be going for Banshees. He could be going for some factory type play. We'll just have to wait and see what comes up after this barracks that just completed. And what's the next choice going to be? A Marine and a bunker at the front. So he's going to secure his bases and then tech up in just a little bit, making an orbital command with that command center as well.
Well, you have 4 lings coming out from our Zerg friend. Mostly just to poke around, I would assume.
Yep, definitely not overmaking lings at this point. It's really difficult to kill Terran players just with pure lings in the early game, especially if you went for hatch first.
Yeah.
It's just you can't get through a walled-off ramp if there are SCVs repairing, and especially if there's a bunker at the top of that ramp. So I'm sure these are just scouting SCVs. They're looking to see if there's anything untoward going on in different parts of the map. They might try to kill this SCV if they see it. The SCV checking for a third base. There's not one there. That makes the Terran player feel pretty happy because right now it's basically even footing. 2 bases against 2 bases, 22 to 22 total harvesters, and for Terran that means they have the upper hand.
Yep. And I think you said you called the lings SCVs.
Oh, goodness. The lings were going after, trying to find that SCV, but they didn't. The SCV kind of hiding to see the timing on that third base. And there it is, recognizing the third base coming down here at the 3-minute mark. And it might be a bit of a timing attack coming from the Terran player, or the factory could be used to get more of a slower army, just depending on cost effectiveness rather than harassment to beat the Zerg player.
And he's building a 3rd CC, so Hellions, probably?
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to have to be Hellions. Yep, dropping onto that reactor, and immediately the factory's making a Hellion. Only one, though. 2 Hellions. There we go. So, yeah, definitely need to harass Zerg. You can't just sit back and let them macro up as long as they want, because then they'll have 80 drones in like 5 minutes, and you will die. So, for sure, you have to at least force them to make some army units, maybe kill some drones with those Hellions as the Terran player, and hopefully it will work out for you in the end.
Our Terran friend is adding on another factory, so...
Oh, that is a second factory. Good spot.
Yeah. So, you really think he may go mech here?
He might. It's definitely not something we've seen a lot of in Legacy of the Void, especially in the beta. Although I have seen a Siege Tank Liberator type play against Protoss that worked very well in a game that I cast just a couple of weeks ago. So that might be something that Womec is going for. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. He is getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade to make those Hellions have the blue flame.
Yep.
That'll make them so much better against lings and even better against workers. And the Hellions are moving out across the map. It's a little bit late for this, but depending on how ready Soybean is, I don't know. The Roach Warren just popped, and there are 3 roaches in production.
Yeah, that's about it, though. Another queen going down.
Yeah, Queens and Roaches do pretty well against Hellions, assuming the positioning is good. We'll have to see how that works out here. And the Roaches are not actually popped yet. Just a few seconds, the Hellions, if they can get into that natural base and start killing workers, just completely ignoring those Queens, and there it is, forcing the drones to actually run for their lives. A pretty good split here from Soybean, not lining them up. There are still a bunch of workers dying, however. Finally, one of the Hellions dies. They kind of get trapped in the corner there, and all the Hellions do get cleaned up. Total number of workers lost, 14 workers died.
Yeah, that was most of his economy out of his second base.
That was a lot more than I thought. Soybean is left with 26 drones. Now, there's a Nidus network coming up, though.
Uh-oh.
Where is that Nidus? In the main base. There it is, popping. Yep.
And in Legacy of the Void, if you spot a Nidus swarm being built, you cannot attack it until it comes out.
Yes, until it completes. It is still pretty flimsy, though. If you attack it, once it finishes, it dies within 2 or 3 seconds if you have it focused.
Oh.
So if it gets spotted, you know, you're still going to be okay, I think. I really haven't seen a spotted Nidus network really cause too many problems for Protoss and Terran, but...
I have. It was in one of my bronze games, and he clicked on it, and he didn't realize that you couldn't attack it while it was building. And yeah, and there we go. There's the Nidus.
There's the Nidus coming up in the natural. I don't think that Womec can see this.
Nope. And you can't even click on it.
You know what? He can. He has vision on that Nidus network.
There it goes.
But he didn't notice it in time. The Nidus pops, and what's going to come out of this guy? It looks like it's going to be Roaches. But it's not unloaded quite yet. Now starting to unload a little bit late. All the SCVs evacuate immediately, and the Roaches are kind of split. They're not sure what to do. They want to go after the workers. No, they're focusing down that orbital command. It gets the lift off. The Queens are trying to shoot it down with their spines at the same time. There are tanks, 1 tank in siege position, 1 in not, 2 siege tanks actually, and these Roaches with +1 upgrades are a little dangerous, but Liberators are there as well with the circles of death.
But he's going to lose a lot of workers for this.
He definitely is. The Roaches are sitting right in this mineral line. No mining is happening at all in the main or in the natural for Womec. This does not look good at all for the Terran player. The Armory did just finish +1 attack here for the ground units, the ground mech units. There's another Ling attack here as well in the third base. There is no mining going on whatsoever for Womec. He is completely at the mercy of these Roaches. Meanwhile, there was a drop in the main base, though, and in the natural. Hellbats with a blue flame roasting up drones.
Yeah, all the drones pretty much have died. The Queens have come back. This is a very wonky little base trade that we have going on. 2 out of 3 of orbitals for our Terran player are lifted at the moment.
Double Nidus worm in the natural base. SCVs and tanks are trying to kill the worms. They are going to get them. They go down fairly quickly again if they're focused, and it is 5 drones to 15 SCVs for the Terran player, finally re-landing his command center in the main base, his orbital command, killing the creep tumors in the natural as well. Has to wait for that creep to recede before he can land that orbital command, and it's just kind of a reset, although the Roaches are back in the main base. Oh no, they were just hiding in the corner. More SCVs are dying, down to 11 workers, and Soybeans back up to 22 harvesters. Hellbats though, and tanks trying to get rid of this Roach composition. The Roach are trying to get right on top of that siege tank, but no, they all get cleaned up. One of them finally burning to death from that Hellion. And now's the reset. I think now both players are on either their own sides of the map. The worker count again is very low here for the 8, almost the 9-minute mark. They're trying to re-up their economy, and I think they're going to just kind of lick their wounds for a bit and try to get back on track.
Yeah, that was a very interesting semi-base trade, as you would call it, I think.
It kind of was. And they always say never base trade a Terran, so I don't know what Soybean was thinking there, but okay.
Because Terrans can float buildings.
Yes, and if you have Roaches, you can't shoot up, so it's a problem. So tanks, Hellbats, Hellions, and some medevacs as well as Liberators moving out here for Womec. I like this composition from our Terran player. Just because I feel like the Hellbats do a great job against against any Zerglings that pop up. The tanks obviously kill most of the stuff on the ground. Liberators can be used for both air and ground attacks, and I just love it. I think it's a really good synergy with this composition. Going after Overlords are these Liberators. Defender mode circles popping up right on that ramp. The tanks do not, or the Queens go right on in there. They're taking shots from the anti-ground mode. They're trying to kill Hellbats, but standing in there, they all get burned up, and that is it. Soybean defeated, Womec victorious, and Soybean has left the game.
I was going to say, the Zerg doesn't really have a lot.
No.
He was trying to get Mutas out. Or no, that's not Muta. What is that? No, that's Roach Moment. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Khalil Reconstitution. So no Mutas.
That really looks like a Muta.
It kind of does. For sure. But yeah, I mean, it looks like what Soybean did was he macroed up. He was up to 42 harvesters. He spent all of his minerals on drones, which makes sense unless you get attacked in the next 2 minutes, which is exactly what Womec did.
Yeah.
Showed up before Zerg was ready and won the game pretty handily there. So, too bad for the Zerg player. Congratulations to Womec, our Terran victor. And I think that's going to be it from us. This has been Falcon Paladin and Fanboy with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Check out Fanboy's channel as well to see more Legacy of the Void content. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And do you want to do a plug for your social media, Fanboy?
I think it's jmoxter15, I'm pretty sure.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah. I think it's just Fanboy Gaming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So search him on Fanboy Gaming on Facebook as well. And so at the end of the cast here, enjoy the music. I know a lot of you guys enjoy that. Also, you can click on the red annotation to get to my new store. There are some t-shirts there that are pretty neat you can check out. And that's about it. So again, thank you so much for watching, all the support that you've given me over the past few months, onward and upward into the future. And until next time, you take care of yourself.
See you guys.